Hello, welcome to the A to Z YouTube channel. My name is Toby Allen and I am the A in A to Z. I'm in charge of songwriting, producing and engineering. If you're new to this channel, we like to talk about all the stuff that goes into making a good song, and we talk about the tools that we use to make your song sound amazing. And of course, as always, if you like what you see, please give us a subscribe and a thumb and a comment and do all the other things that YouTube likes to reward. Now today, we're looking at the Blackstar HT Studio 20. This is the first Blackstar amp I've ever tried and ever used. It's my first EL34 equipped amp, and just had a bit of a play with it and is enjoying it so far. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the features, going to try a few tones, and then of course we'll run it into a loadbox using the impulse response that I always use when demoing amp sims. I use a consistent impulse response across the whole channel so you can compare very easily all the different amps and amp sims and all that kind of guitar tone stuff across the channel, so you can compare that back to back very easily. Now the interesting thing is with the Blackstar stuff is that you have this ISF knob, which is I can't remember what it stands for, but it will come up on the screen. Infinite Sound Fun. But basically what happens is when you dial this, it changes the frequency response of the EQ. So, in theory, when it's all the way clockwise, like it is now, that gives you British sounds. All the way anti-clockwise gives you American sounds. That's just affecting the preamp, not affecting the power amp, of course. The power amp is EL34s, which has an inherently kind of more British kind of sounding tone anyway. So, let's just have a bit of a chug, and I'll change around some of the EQ on here. We are going into an orange closed back 1x12 loaded with a creamback Neo. Got an SM58 pointing at that, and I haven't actually listened to how that sounds. I've just literally just thrown it on there. Gonna have some great sounds. That's kind of the whereabouts I normally put a microphone when I'm miking this particular cab. And we've also up here, we've got a precision drive from Horizon Devices and a cock blocker from Schecter Sounds. Precision drive is currently off, but we'll be trying that on in a moment. So, what we're going to do first off, I'm going to put it to basically going to go my kind of starting position, which is all the knobs at 6, except the ISF, which I've got on 5. Gain, we're going to put that on noon. Volume on the preamp is low, but on the power amp is high. So that I find that it gives a little bit more saturation and a little bit more oomph when dialing this in. So at this position, it sounds like this. Which is pretty tasty. I mean, we're looking at noon on the gain, and that's a lot of gain. A lot of gain. It's not what, I don't know, it's not kind of what I'd call a modern high gain sound, but there's a lot of gain. What I'm gonna do is gonna chug, and I'll go round on the ISF, and you'll hear what it does as I turn it. So on the kind of noon-ish kind of tones on the EQ, you're not going to hear a massive amount of difference, but if we boost the middle and then change round, so we'll start on the British. It changes the frequency that the middle is being boosted at. You can hear it also increases how much the middle is being boosted as well. So you've got some very different tones. When you're on the American tone, it actually sounds a little bit better if you scoop the mids. If you put it to the British mode, it sounds very scooped. So you kind of want to boost the mids a bit. And the bass, it gets a lot more prominent on the British mode. And tighter on the American mode. So what I'm going to do is just dial this in to get a sound which I like. I'm going to put on the precision drive as well. Boosting an amp is fun. So bring the gain down. The precision drive is on my usual settings. And we're going to bring what I'm going to do is I actually like it around about here on the ISF. I'm going to bring a bit of treble and we're going to scoop it a tiny bit and we'll bring that bass up. Here's that sound. Been a little while since I've played that song, so sorry for the mistakes. Right, we're going to change over to my Schecter 7-string now. So you can see I kind of dial it in a little bit differently for a 7-string as to what I would with a 6-string, but it still sounds absolutely amazing. Let's go with the precision drive off, and let's go and get something a bit more, just have another play without the precision drive on, just using the gain, enough gain on the amp itself. So that is the overdrive channel of the amp. That sounds amazing. We're going to try the clean channel real quick. What I need to do is just bring the master volume right down and change over. So we bring the master volume there. If you take it right up. You get kind of a plexi kind of sound on there, so that's really nice. The volume right up here does get you a bit of crunchy, drivey breakup, which is really nice. So if you go on the neck pickup, chuck in some reverb, you get like a old man music. So that's enough of that. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to connect up the loadbox and we'll hear it with an impulse response. Alright, so we're now set up with loadbox. I've got this back onto the overdrive channel. I've got on the American mode, we've got the treble and the bass absolutely dimed and the middle scooped right out. This is kind of trying to get a kind of Metallica 80s kind of sound with the American mode going into the EL34 power amp. So let's hear how that sounds with the Vikings IR from Bogren Digital. Kind of a bit excessive. Let's just put it back to the 6 on everything, including the ISF. I hope you enjoyed that. When I was looking at this amp, I struggled to find any metal sounding demos of it, so I hope I've now filled that a little hole on YouTube. I think it's great. I really enjoy it. I like that it goes, kind of bridges that gap between like my Marshalls and my EVH, kind of like somewhere between the two. I really like it. What I'm really looking forward to doing at some point is trying my other amps into the effects return of this one. So adding that EL34 power amp stage to, say, my Orange Dark Terror, or even to my EVH 5150, or definitely to the Mode 4. I want to hear how that sounds. So maybe I'll do that in a future video, but I'm definitely going to be doing that for some recordings and for some of my own songs and projects. I'd love to hear what you think of this amp, so please leave a comment below. I'm going to be trying to include some more amps and pedals outside of the box in some of our upcoming videos. If that's something you think we should do more of, definitely put that in the comments as well. Like and subscribe.